All right, YouTube, it is Mr. Mean coming at you this fine Monday afternoon. I hope everybody is doing well. It has been a long day at work. My kid is watching TV. He's relaxing. I'm relaxing. Life is good. I hope everyone is doing well. Well, we did Heroes and Hardships last week, and I think the video is up to like, I don't know, up to almost 200 views or something like that. So awesome, super great to see that. Again, though, YouTube analytics is dinging me. They're telling me you guys aren't watching the video. You're only watching it for like 5 minutes on average. So you got to help the channel out if you're watching it. Please comment. Are the videos too long? I mean, you tell me. Is there something else you want to see? Let me know. Interaction with YouTube is a requirement to uh, keep the YouTube algorithm clean. You guys, if you could post comments, do you own the game? Do you like the game? Do you not like the game? Some people did. We had some good reply. A number of people have pointed out to me that they tried to leave a note or whatever on the video, and YouTube keeps deleting it. That's a YouTube issue. I don't have any say on it. I can't, there's nothing I can do about it. I've checked everything. I don't have any comments waiting for delay. I haven't really banned anybody. The only videos that I block or the only comments I block are from spammers, that'll say, sexy girls at this link or whatever. I ban those. I just don't want to deal with them. So today's video du jour, Fabula Ultima, the TTJRPG. And for those that don't know, it's tabletop Japanese role-playing games. Have you played Ultima Online? Have you played Fantasy? Can't think of the name of it now. I can see it clear in my head. But all the Japanese Chrono Trigger, all of those games from our younger Super NES days. And you thought, man, it would be so cool if there was a role-playing game made out of those. Well, now there is. It's by Need Games. This game is by Emmanuel Galetto. I hope I said that right. You can find out more information at FabulaUltima.com or just do a Google search for Need Games. Now, I'm not being sponsored or anything. I bought this with my own money. I very much like this. It uses a full set of polyhedrals minus the D20. Well, the GM might need a D20, but players need D4 through D12. This is very unique. Nothing like Goblin Slayer. If you saw my review of Goblin Slayer, which is a Japanese anime, and it's a role-playing game based off of that anime, this is nothing like it. This is completely in a different vein. They give great homage to all the uh, Japanese RPGs, computer RPGs, and RPGs that we've grown up with watching their animes and stuff. They give homage to that. It's really great. The tagline in the back is, "This is your world. This is your story. Make your choice and fight for what you believe in." So why do I like this so much? Oh my God. Well, aside from the art being fantastic as far as I'm concerned, um, I like the concept and the things that are portrayed in here. I like the fact that your character starts at level 5. You get 3 careers to start with. You make a bunch of picks. You get the free stuff for those careers. There's half races. There's aliens, excuse me. This is a fantasy game, so there's dwarves. There's elves. Humans. They give you 3 settings. Look at this. If that doesn't scream Japanese RPG, I don't know what does. Um, I will side note real quick. If you buy the RPG book, I picked this up at Level Up. I picked this up at the Source down in Minneapolis, and it was shrink wrapped, and inside of it was a little sheet of paper that had the PDF code. So you go to their Need More Games or needgames.com. You go to their website and it takes you to FabulaUltima.com. You put in that code, you get a PDF copy of the game. So I think that's super cool. I mean, I've never heard of Need Games Company before. I don't know what else they make. I didn't really see anything on their website that, brought back any concepts or anything that I was aware of. You get a nice slip cover that does come off, and then it's a black and white cover underneath. It is glossy paper. It is a whopping 359 pages with a full index in the back, inspiration on the video games and stuff that kind of formed the creation of this. And I gotta say, it's really well done. Um, every 10 experience points, you get, excuse me, no, yeah, every 10 experience points, you get a level. You may very well earn more than 10 experience points in they recommend a 4-hour session like a standard RPG. You may very well earn more than 10 experience points in a session. You can never level up more than once between sessions. So if you earn 20 or 30 experience points in a night, you can't go up 2 or 3 levels. You can only go up one level, and then you're going to be banking some experience. They do have some neat options in here that I use a lot at my table, like MVP. When I was running games here in my house, I would always do like a little one sheet page that said, what did you like best about tonight's session? What did you like least? And then I always put on who was the MVP of tonight? Who was the best role player? And then everybody could vote. And the rule was you couldn't vote for yourself. And I got a vote as a GM as well. And I could not vote for myself, nor could I vote for NPCs. I had to vote for one of the players. So showing the players that I am an advocate of the players, which I think is important. Um, but what's cool about this is they have an MVP award that you can give. It's pretty cool because you start at level 5, you make a number of picks, you distribute your attribute points, and then I'm going to take this sleeve off because I'm just going to mangle it while I'm trying to do this because I want to flip through the book and stuff. You can download a character sheet from their website. There's a full bestiary in the back, which is super cool. And you level up your character. You it's your standard, Japanese RPG, with all the tropes. There's 3 different settings. I want to see if I can find those settings real quick. Yeah, here we go. So the 3 settings are high fantasy, natural fantasy, and techno fantasy. Final Fantasy, that was the name of the game I couldn't think of. So better day late and a dollar short. And they give you, just like in your tabletop RPGs on your computer, your CRGs on your computer. I'm trying to see here. You get all the funny, cutesy little icons like for armor and everything. See if that shows up there. You gotta get it right. Yeah, so you can see that. You get all the little icons and everything. Character creation is pretty solid. Um, you're going to get to choose, it's a series of steps similar to the world creation. The world creation is kind of like for the GM, obviously, to set where and how you're going to play the game, in one of those 3 settings or an amalgamation of those settings themselves. You're going to start your character at level 5, and then you're going to go up there. You're going to create an identity. You're going to create a theme. You're going to choose or create your origin, the place that they hail from. You may select a location on your world sheet as a new one, so you can create a new spot if it's not already there. You choose 2 or 3 classes. And then you're going to distribute your initial 5 levels among them. Take note of the free benefits and skills that are gained. They do stack, so if you get a skill you already have, you can add to that. So there's the classic, like the Red Knight, the Berserker, the Mage, the Druid. I mean, it's got some really, the Wayfarer, and you choose all these. So let's look at one. Sharpshooter. So this is everything a sharpshooter gets, and it describes, they get you get to choose a certain amount of skills. You don't get them all. You get your free benefits are you permanently increase your maximum hit points by 5, and you gain the ability to equip martial ranged weapons and martial shields. So not every class can use every piece of gear. So it has to say in your initial class what you can use, what skills, martial skills, sword skills, that kind of shield skills you can use. So like in this case of the sharpshooter, they gain the ability to equip martial ranged weapons. So they can't equip swords, and they do that to make each class, so like a swordsman, they make it, so only the swordsman or any of the martial classes can um, equip that. Like, so like your rogue, they get to permanently increase the maximum inventory points by 2, because the rogue, in classical fantasy tropes of Japanese RPGs, always has the lockpick or the certain key that they need to get past. It's that trope that it really gives you the feel of playing a computer, Japanese role-playing game on the computer. Fury, Furies permanently increase their maximum hit points by 5, gain the ability to equip martial melee weapons and martial armor. So not every class can use armor. Obviously, your orator, your mages, your druids, your spiritualists, they're not going to equip very much armor because that's not their gig, so to speak. You have spells. It's a full setup fantasy game, all in this one little book, 328 pages. Um, you have a maximum of 50 levels. No level can be higher than level 10. You can have up to 3 careers, or you can have as many careers as you want, but you can't add a new career until you master an old career, which means reaching level 10. So you're going to do that pretty quick. And remember, you get 10 experience points, you gain a level. So we have a night of play. I distribute 10 experience points to the players, or 11. They spend 10 and they immediately gain a level right there if they want. They even recommend that you take a break in the middle of the game to let players level up. So there's a lot of, they do so much right in here. I really like it. Is there anything I don't like? I can't really, without playing it. I mean, I ran through like a mock combat on a sheet of paper, and it seemed to work okay. I don't believe there's a character sheet in the book. I don't remember seeing one. Yeah, there's no character sheet in the book. So you do have to go to their website and download it. So that's one thing that kind of annoys me. I'm a grognard. I come from the days of, you would take your book, you would bring it to the copier at the library, and you'd fold it out, and try to get it as flat as possible so that you could, make a photocopy of the character sheet. So, um, and I don't believe there were pre-gens in here. Is there? Yeah, I don't believe there were any pre-gens. There's magical items, so they give you a lot of cool stuff. There's a sample of a boss design, so just like in a CRPG, you get to the end of the dungeon or the end of the castle, the lowest level of the castle, and you fight the boss. NPC spells, which might be slightly different because NPCs work a little different. But there's a full bestiary, designing NPCs. Like I said, there is everything you need in this book to play. There's nothing else you need to buy. Which, as I get older and I have less and less space to store stuff, I'm a big fan of one book solves all. Uh, so lots of cool magic items, how to design a dungeon, experience and levels, how to go up, prologues, weapon masters, spiritualist, sharpshooter. Like I said, all these different classes, guardian, and then uh, your skills also have levels. So you'll see like adrenaline has a +5. So it means you can level up adrenaline 5 times. And when you pick these classes, you'll get to choose a skill. Typically, for the base character creation, you'll choose a skill. You have hit points. You go down. Every time you level, you get on average 5 XP, and then when you level, you get to add a point into one of your attributes if the advance tells you to. You also get, if you choose a new career, you get those free picks in that career where it's, master a certain weapon. So what it does is it promotes cross-classing, or multi-classing as we'd call it in American RPGs. So you can have a fighter mage, you can have a druid thief, you can have a monk, priest. So characters are very competent. The mechanics is, if I remember correctly, it's a stat and a skill. You'll roll those dice and you'll total up the number. Um, don't quote me because I've been reading sporadically and I read so many different RPGs, I get them all confused. Um, you will need tokens because one of the things is the players have Fabula points and the GM has Ultima points. And those are points that you spend to make the Ultima points are the points the GM spends to make his NPCs tougher. Fabula points is the players spend to do certain things. So it's a currency, but they recommend two different colors. So the players could have blue and the GM has red or whatever. And you can use gaming stones, glass beads, you know, coins, whatever you've got laying about. I recommend not using M&Ms or anything like that because you might eat them and then you won't be able to keep track. You could even use a piece of scratch paper and all those points, every time you spend one, they go into a cup. And then at the end of the session, the GM counts them out and that's how much experience you get. So by spending your Fabula points, you're increasing the party's ability to level up, and everybody gets the same amount of experience points. So if Timmy only contributes 3 Fabula points, but Mike contributes 10, everybody still gets the same amount. It doesn't matter. It's just how you choose to spend your points. Which is kind of cool. So nobody's really penalized. Everybody. The whole point is it's very cooperative. You're failing forward. Everybody, even the person that's going contributing the least amount to. You want to pick them up and help them and encourage them to move forward, which I think is fantastic. So I'm just trying to see. Uh, I'm trying to see if I remember. And there's like GM intrusion kind of thing. There's a session campaign. Always round down, which is add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Specific beats, general, timing issues. I mean, it's laid out really well. They give a picture of the character sheet, but I don't see a specific sheet in here. So let's see. Striking. So, when required by the game rules, striking a target, casting a spell, or using a class skill often requires a check to determine success or failure. Effects that do not explicitly call for a check always succeed automatically. Uh, so, a check is presented as a formula. Example, and inspiration plus WLP, which I don't remember what that is. Check performed by a character with a D6 insight and a D10 willpower would result in the character rolling a D6 and a D10 and adding them together, thus generating a result between 2 and 16. And the GM would set the target number and you would want to meet or exceed that. So, so it's your attributes. And all the skills are based off of 1 and or 2 attributes. So when the GM tells you to roll something, you would look at whatever those are and what they equate to. I don't think I actually went to the website and downloaded the character sheet yet. So I'll make sure I do that. And if there's anything wonky on it, I'll post it in the show notes. But man, world layout, 3 different fantasy genres to play in to make your own. If you want to copy the world of Chrono Trigger and that storyline, you could do that. Final Fantasy, you could do that. Berserk, you could do that. One of my favorites, Claymore, you could do that. I mean, any anime inspiration that you have, this will allow you to emulate it in, of course, the fantasy or techno fantasy genre. I think it's an amazing little game. It seems neat. You're rolling a decent amount of dice. I like games that let you roll dice. I don't know, narrative games are great and stuff. And, if that, when, or how are cool. But I like games that have specific rules that say roll dice here. And that's kind of what this game does. If it doesn't specifically say, it's assumed that you achieve it, which I think is cool. So it takes away that, you know, Billy can't climb the side of the building because, well, he doesn't have climb, so he's got to roll. No, if the GM doesn't set a target number and it's within your wheelhouse, you just do it, which makes sense. Now, when it's combat or social conflict, you can roll some dice, but in order to do the basic things, you know, if no one's attacking you or no one's, on your back door, so to speak, coming up the rear, you can pick that lock on your own time. So the GM doesn't have to require a roll. You just, do you have lock picks? Do you have the skill? Yes. Boom. You pick the lock. You're done. Really neat, fast, I think. Very flattering to the genre of computer role-playing games or Japanese role-playing games. I shouldn't say computer, I should say Japanese role-playing games that are based on manga or anime. Uh, I think it's well worth your money. Go pick it up. I know I rambled a little bit and I got disconjointed. I'm sorry, I just got off work and I'm kind of fried. We're looking at houses. We're trying to buy a house and it's just, I have to look at houses every night this week after work. And I looked at, I don't even know how many this weekend, and it's just crazy. So pardon me if I'm a little frazzled, and plus long day at work. So highly recommend, if you're into the source material, check it out. I think you're going to enjoy it. I know I like what I'm reading so far. It's definitely one of the ones I want to run on the channel for the meanies in my Discord. I think it's very well done. They did come out with I think it's $8 for the primer, which just gives you a taste and a little starting adventure. It comes with pre-made characters, so it's really cool, very colorful. And like I said, it's like, I think it's $7.99. So it's, if you want to check it out, you can buy it at your favorite local game store, which I highly recommend you support, or you can buy it online from Need Games. Uh, Check it out. I think it's a winner. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, please interact with the video. Do you have this? Do you like it? Did you buy it and it's not your cup of tea? Let me know what you think. If you know of any other cool games that are in this genre that are, available in print, let me know. Provide a link. I'll go check it out. I really enjoyed this. It's a very interesting read. The fact that you got the PDF with it when you buy it, I think is super cool. You know, Paizo does that. WotC doesn't do that. You don't get a free PDF with WotC when you buy a book. You got to buy the PDF separately, unless they've changed it. I don't stay up on WotC's stuff. And everybody who's a friend of the channel here knows that I'm not a huge WotC fan nowadays. Back in the 3.5 days, huge fan, loved 3.5. It's what led me to Pathfinder, and now I love Pathfinder 2nd Edition. So that's it for Fabula Ultima by Need Games. You can find out more at FabulaUltima.com. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Just a quick run through of what the book is, what it entails. Hopefully it gave you an idea. And check it out. Let me know what you think. If you do pick it up, definitely hit us up on the Discord. We talk about tabletop RPGs and board games and everything else. Yeah, help support channel any way you can. I have a drive-through RPG link where I get a small commission off of items you buy via PDF for drive-through RPG. I have a Patreon. Check it out. All the information is down below. And as always, peace and hair grease. And remember, Mr. Mean says be nice.